add everything to your Commonplace binder. So this is the Commonplace binder 101 playlist. I'm going to set this down now. We're on video 27, and this is tips for the Commonplace binder system. So, add everything. That's quite a tip. Add everything. Yeah. You're just going to fill your way through, so you just keep adding stuff. You're like, I don't know, feels good. Feels bad. If it feels bad, just stop doing the thing that feels bad. And if the whole project feels bad, then maybe don't do that. But this is for the people who are going to be doing the thing, so I hope it is potentially relevant. Now, when you're feeling your way through, the potentially relevant stuff is it's really the only stuff you want to hold on to. Now, at the beginning, you can hold on to everything and then just get rid of the worst stuff. Because sometimes people have a lot of trouble adding new things, but they're very good at reducing something that already exists. So if you're very good at reducing stuff, then it might be you just throw a bunch of junk in there and you fix it later. Maybe that is your chosen strategy. Now, my chosen strategy is to make the Commonplace Binder 101 playlist. So that way I can actually show you a demonstration binder. Whoa! So that way I can actually show you a demonstration binder. Now, what's in here? Well, we got our contents page, we got our tabs, and, the stuff on the contents page is within the binder. This is kind of brute forced. Now, I wouldn't have 100 video subjects by just randomly coming up with them on my own, or maybe I would. The problem is, I needed to make a giant document that would show all of these as unique titles. Now, how do I do that? Well, I had to come up with specific terms, like notebook, and then I would have to apply them. Now, this one was not notebook. I don't know which one this was. And so sometimes I would have a specific key term. I would apply it to this, but then when I wrote the outline afterwards, I would get rid of the key term because it was just better to have, something a little bit more relevant. I didn't realize both of them would end with your life. That's interesting. I don't normally have 3 words. So, what are the items I use? Well, I've got my note cards here. No, we're talking about with the binder itself. So, what are the items? Well, I have a binder, so, this is the Commonplace binder, this is the binder. This is paper. These are little paper tabs. I write on these, I write on the pages, so I do need a writing utensil, so I usually normally use pencil for that. These are rings, which means I need to have holes in the paper, so I hole punch them. And, these are taped on. If you make your own, you might have to tape them on. If you buy them, you could probably just attach them. It's not going to be a problem. This is also just paper and then something written on it. It's really not too complicated. It could be more complicated if you want to make it more complicated, but this is, the basics. Talking about the demo, not some fancy, super high-quality Japanese stationery. This is just, if you want to use items and you're going to brute force it, or you're just going to use whatever you have, this will be fine. Fill the niche. I'm not filling the niche of fancy Japanese stationery. Although maybe a bunch of people are going to do that. I don't know. Maybe they're already doing that. But why fill a niche for tips for the Commonplace binder system? Well, it's a Commonplace, so it's supposed to fill the niche of the space in between all your other stuff. So you might have a notebook, you might have a journal. I don't know what you have. But this is the thing that goes in the space in between all the other things. And then when you want to create something new, like a planner, you'll just pull it out of the Commonplace. It's fine. It's just where did you get that from? How is it already fully formed? It's I pulled it out of here, and now it's here. It's not that complicated. Rewarding first. Is it rewarding to be first, or is it rewarding to get it on the first try? Or will I be rewarded for being the first person to have a 100 video playlist on commonplacing? It might even be that you have to reward yourself first, rather than afterwards. You gotta give yourself a little treat, or a snack, or whatever else. I don't know. Is that gonna help you find work? Probably not. It might be that by creating a commonplace, when you're breaking it down into a journal and a notebook and all the other things you have that are external now, you find out that you're really into one specific type of thing, and that might help you find work. You might find out that the job you want to be working is something related to all of this, and you'll just happen to pick one. Now, if you don't happen to pick one, and you end up having commonplacing be your entire life, it might be consuming your entire life. It is the only thing you do all the time. There's nothing else, which might be a problem. You might love that, but it's probably not going to pay the bills. Neither will a journal, because nobody's really supposed to see what's inside the journal. I guess you can share a journal. I guess you can share a commonplace. I don't know. So you can use whatever notebook you want. I would, of course, tell you to use a binder, because that's what I use. That's what we're talking about. This is the Commonplace binder. But, you know, this subject is based on what I saw from Commonplace book videos, because there were no Commonplace binder videos. Technically, I think there was one, but it was just a Commonplace book where the person was doing it in a binder. And they didn't really hype that up at all. It was just a new title. Simplify your life with the Commonplace binder system. Now, I actually did substantially simplify my life at the beginning. Right after the beginning, I created problems for myself, and then after that, I made it easier. But that midsection was quite a problem. So how does this simplify your life? Well, if you have a whole bunch of binders from school and you don't know what to do with them, well, you can go through all your old work, label it properly, and then eliminate 10% of the information every time you go through. And eventually, you're not going to have much left. And if you're talking about clutter, that's actually good. Obviously, if you're trying to find work to get money, you know, it might not be good to blow through all the savings. That might consume your life. You know, probably make some sort of journal of some sort. A notebook is fine. I prefer the binder. Yeah. You really just want to simplify your life. You don't need the journal and a notebook and all these other things. Just have one thing that works for you. Comfortable removal. So if you do end up removing a whole bunch of garbage, if you use this as like an anti-hoarding tool, it should be pretty comfortable getting rid of the stuff, because like you can take a picture of it and then you can make it digital rather than physical or analog or whatever fancy words we want to use. But like, I don't know. If this is all paper related stuff, why do we want to put stuff on the computer? Well, it might be that if you do end up wanting to share the stuff, it's a lot easier to just transfer a file than it is to like hand someone a book, especially when you're the only one that has the book. It might be kind of a problem. But yeah, you should get comfortable with removing all the junk or just deprioritizing it at the very least. Now, how do you do that? How do you figure out what to get rid of? Well, the first stuff I would get rid of is the stuff that is like rotten or moldy or, you know, like the stuff that needs to go immediately. That's probably the best place to start. Now, after that, if you have loose leaf paper that has tears in it, or, you know, just things that are like broken, not rotting, but they're like broken, you know, those probably go next, because they don't do anything because they're broken. And then, you know, after that, it's probably whatever's dirty, and then you only have clean things left that are functional, that actually do something, and then, you know, it gets a little bit harder, but if you get in the process of doing it, you can summarize your things and then toss them, and that's quite nice. So what are we doing? Are we just getting rid of history? Yeah, kind of. But in the same way that you might go through, you know, 100 pictures on your phone and turn into only 10 that are worth saving. So we're just going through the junk. We're getting rid of like almost all of it. You can get rid of a small portion every single time you go through, and then, you know, it's just like common practice or a commonplace. No. Whatever you do, you should probably have digital backup though. So you might really like being able to feel everything, but you do need to back it up because otherwise, like all that needs to happen is I go outside, I bring this with me, I leave it out there, and it rains, and then this is done. You know, like you really need the digital backup. Self-promotion. Maybe it's time for me to talk about my digital backup that you can download. No, I don't have one. So I need to get one. I will be promoting some stuff probably around the 66th video, but you know, this is the 27th, so we're not even halfway there. If you want to leave some comments now to tell me what to promote or what not to promote, maybe that would be fun. It'd be like corresponding online. So it is fun to have friends, and it's fun to talk to them. And normally it's more fun to talk to them in person. But online is okay. The problem is, for doing some journaling, why are we talking online? I mean, I guess, you know, it's just like isolate in a cabin in the woods. Write in your journal. Maybe call someone every so often. I don't know. So you can share stuff with people. Some people want to share their books with each other. Other people don't. Like, don't worry about it. If you want to, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. If you don't know, then just don't do it because you don't know. A hobby of documenting is what's up next. So it might be that you find out you do all this, or you want to do all this, or you already have a hobby of documenting things, and you want to see how somebody might do it a little bit differently. In that case, maybe check out the next video. But if not, thank you for your time. I appreciate that you stuck around for more than 10 minutes. And I suppose I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Oh, I gotta find the button.